Hello, and welcome back to Pathfinder Kingmaker. I'm Chatso Soto's Bra. So last episode, we broke out into the Stonelands, beat up some bandits, made camp here at Oleg's trading post, talked to Lindsay a bit. So yeah, I figured I'm gonna get out of the way and talk to all my companions in this episode, as well as depending on how long that takes, because I know talking to Lindsay took a bit. So we'll see how. Oh god, I'm getting some spikes. We'll see how long it takes to talk to our companions, and then we'll go from there. We're gonna talk. Amiri utters a weary sigh. Alright, spill it. I'm listening. We're just talking, you don't like it? Amiri shrugs several times, perhaps flexing her muscles or maybe just filling in the silence. Don't know, she admits at last. Depends on what we're going to talk about. If it's monsters or swords or scars, I approve. That's good. If you're gonna ask, like why, or what for, how, screw this. Mary looks you over slowly, head to toe. Or got even harder ones? Tell me about yourself. The simple question seems to puzzle Amiri. She scratches her head and then starts counting her fingers. First, I'm a barbarian. I'm strong. I grew up in the realm of the Mammoth Lords. I left my tribe, the Six Bears. Marie looks thoroughly at her four bent fingers and shrugs. I like fights, she concludes, bending her thumb. What's it like to be a barbarian of the Six Bears tribe? Ha! Our people are big and strong. We cut monsters in half in one swing. We could walk 3 days and nights with no rest. We could eat a whole fried Aronok? Auroch? I don't know how to pronounce that. I guess you had a lot of training to become as strong as you are. Training? No one freaking trained me. The boys of the Six Bears got to training. All I could do was watch. Miri's eyes gleam with anger. And you know what? They're still crap after all that training because I kicked their butts hard. Animals, bandits, monsters, all thought they were stronger than me. Idiots. Miri spits on the ground because you start a fight and you think you win. If you start a fight, you think you'd win. You think you're stronger than your enemy. Enemy raises her chin proudly. I defeated them all. You can see the scars on my face. What does the realm of the Mammoth Lords look like? Huge and freezing, no place for weaklings. Amiri narrows her eyes as if evaluating your ability to survive her homeland. Tribes hunt aurochs. I don't know what that is. Is that some kind of bird? I assume it's some kind of bird. Herds to survive. Aurochs are fast, so the tribe follows the herds for days, just to not to die of hunger. So if you're weak and stay behind and die in the snow, tribe cannot stop. If you're weak, you stay behind and die in the snow. The tribe cannot stop. Also, giants, mammoths, sometimes demons come too. Oh, and mastodons, the saber-toothed tigers. Amiri grins. You would survive, I think, for a few days. Why'd you leave your tribe? Amiri flushes, because they were all assholes, all of them. Men were cowards and scoundrels. Women were scared like sheep. Amiri lowers her bloodshot eyes in fury. Men think no girl could be a fighter because they are weak. They are afraid a woman could beat them. Females just nod. Go sew hides, cook meat, watch kids. That's what they always said, but I'm a warrior, damn it. I won't cook hides and watch meat. Mira's already shouting, fists clenched tightly. Told them so. I went hunting with the men. When I get, still the same. You're a woman, stay home. Even gave me a nickname, the soft chieftain. Like a warrior woman was a funny joke. Damn, I even went to hunt those shit-faced ghost giants. Oh, frost giants, sorry. And there. Miri suddenly stops, breathing heavily, sweat beading from her forehead. For a moment, Miri waves her hand awkwardly and forces herself to grin. So I left. Cowards, scoundrels, sissies they were, that's why. You're quite a good fighter. Miri jerks her head up. Quite good, huh? Compared to who? If I was a crappy male, I'd fight better, is that what you say? She glares at you, eyes narrow. Or you say I could be better, like, go get some training, Amiri, right? You are very good in a fight. You're an excellent warrior. I'm giving you a compliment, that's all. For several more moments, Amiri continues to glare at your face with suspicion, then all of a sudden she mellows. True, I fight good. That's what I do best. You're rather rude, you know. You bet, Amiri grins, then suddenly frowns. I'm a fighter, big and strong. Everyone's afraid of me, I can't play the softy. Who would fear me then? The I know it's like comp. She's. Oh, fuck. Why can't I pronounce this? I know the word. It's right there. Completative. It's like, you know, you're complimenting. You're thinking of something. Expression disappears from Amiri's face, replaced with a dreamy grin. I enjoy being feared when I pass by, and all the sissies almost faint, knees trembling, teeth clattering, shit dripping down their pants. Amiri falls silent, fascinated with the picture and imagination has created. Thanks for telling me. Let's talk about something else. Why not? Amiri frowns, and then you see she's glad to change the subject. So why'd you leave your tribe? What's the story about the frost giants? Told you already, they were assholes, they treat women like sheep, not fighters. Amiri frowns. As for the giants, tell you later, someday maybe. It's a formidable sword. But it's not a simple weapon, is it? You bet it's not simple. Check how big it is. She proudly raises the blade. You notice that even though Amiri is extremely strong, she still has difficulty wielding such a large weapon. The sword belongs to that real bastard frost giant. I killed the beast, took his looker for myself. Fits me perfectly. My damn trophy. Marina's eyes flash with menace as if she's challenging an invisible enemy, trying to take away her trophy. Thanks for talking with me. Let's speak again later. Talking when we'll do some monster killing instead. Marina sighs and turns away. Alright. Valerie. Greetings, Valerie sighs. Everything's well, I hope. I'm ready for new orders. Jesus. Tell me about yourself. Why exactly would you like to know? I was born to a noble family, though I did not remain long on the family estate. My father sent me to the Order of the Eternal Rose, but once I left, I realized it didn't match my principles. Where were you from? What was your childhood like? I was born in Brevoy, but in fact I never seen much of the country. I spent my childhood on a remote estate owned by my noble family. My father was a respectable philanthropist and benefactor of the Church of Shelyn. He was also a renowned private collector and admirer of the arts. My mother saw to my education personally. From the early years I learned good manners and how to behave at the dinner table, and the proper form of words for every occasion. Also learned the difference between true nobles and low-born upstarts. I learned how to treat each of them properly. Our home was always under the protection of several Paladins of Shelyn. My father donated a handsome sum to the order. One of them, a man of venerable age with a grey beard, once let me touch his shining armor. I still remember the admiration I felt when I touched the cold, polished steel. Valerie smiles. Of all the memories of childhood, that one was somehow the warmest one. Why were you sent to the Paladin Order of the Eternal Rose? As you can imagine from my finest days, I was surrounded by crowds of servants and nannies who never stopped praising my heavenly beauty. The Paladins of Shelyn who visited our house echoed these praises. In the end, a general consensus overwhelmed my father's better judgment. When I turned 6, I was brought to the Church of Shelyn and told that this would be my new home. Don't pin me, though. I beg you. Many who'd hear the stories immediately assumed that my parents were cruel and had no love for their child. Valerie's eyes become stern. My parents had respect for me. They taught me something that has supported me all my life, a sense of self-esteem. Besides, they didn't abandon me. Once every 6 months, they would come and visit me at the Order of the Eternal Rose. We'd have some tea, had an hour to walk around the garden, and they would take their leave, as etiquette demanded. What did he teach you in the order? A variety of things. Some of them appealed to me. Others I simply couldn't accept. I enjoyed the physical activities and swordsmanship, but the arts, calligraphy, painting, poetry, and so many other ways to waste one's time. Valerie sighs. Guess deep in my heart I always knew I'd never be a true Paladin of Shelyn. Wielding the sword always felt more natural to me than handling a paintbrush. Why did you leave the order? Because my heavenly beauty. Valerie winces in contempt. According to Shelyn's laws, all art is sacred, and whatever form it takes. Severe punishment awaits those who dare harm a painting, sculpture, or poem, no matter how worthless the drivel might be. My looks always attracted unwanted attention from pilgrims, acolytes at the temple. I received my first poem dedicated to me when I was 9. The author was some wealthy geezer. Valerie's lips thin with contempt. That was only the beginning. Sculptures, pictures, poems, I was drowning in them. My admirers mobbed me, and I had to respectfully accept all their garbage. The clerics of the temple were monogamous, for my suitors made generous offerings to the church. But one time, I just snapped. Barely suppressed anger glitters across Valerie's eyes. Some wealthy idiot dedicated an extremely untalented poem to me. He had a nerve to read it right to my face, holding my sleeve. And the hour was late, and I was on my way to get some rest after some boring lesson on rhythms. I lost control, tore the poem apart in front of him. Valerie raises her head proudly. The paladins wanted to impose some punishment upon me. Don't remember which one exactly. They wanted me to repent. Instead, I just gathered my things and left. So what did you do after you left the order? I set off for Restov, Valerie shrugs. I want to get as far away as possible from Shelyn. The destiny everyone seemed to be ready to force upon me. Besides, the school of swordships in Restov was quite a decadent reputation. Honestly, I was hoping for an opportunity to learn from the famous Eldori masters. Eventually, it became clear that their technique was a good fit for me. They teach to avoid impact, whereas I prefer to raise my shield. But my abilities and skills, which I learned in the Order of the Eternal Rose, were enough to make the Sword Lords take an interest in me. They offered me a chance to join the mercenaries who served the Sword Lords, and I accepted. Bet your beauty inspired many people in the Order. Valerie gazes to become suddenly cold. And here I hope to avoid the question. She exhales loudly. Well, let's get this over with. Once and for all, you should understand that I'm perfectly aware that most races, orders, genders find me physically attractive. It's beyond my power to change that, but I've never been given a potential admirer any reason to start a conversation with me. But it doesn't stop them. After leaving the order, I took a dagger and cut the long hair they used to praise. Now I get letters about praising my beauty, the beauty of my eyes. It was because of my appearance that I ended up in the Order of the Eternal Rose. Though I never wanted to be a paladin, it was because of my beauty and my infinite number of suitors have perused me. It was because of my beauty that... Okay, sorry. I thought I was going in a different way. It was because of my beauty that an infinite number of suitors perused me, all of them confusing the simple politeness of hints with hints of affection. Valerie clenches her fists. But do you know what I really want? I want people to stop treating me like a piece of art. I want them to notice that I'm a person, that I'm capable of something more than smiling for paintings, where I sit with lacy satin dresses, holding a basket of peaches on my lap. Is that too much asked? Oh, okay. The last question comes out as a shout, though Valerie doesn't seem to realize it. Thank you for your honesty. I understand you very well. You're a true friend who I could trust with my life. I am truly happy that you understand me. Thank you. Valerie smiles at you gratefully, and smiles full of warmth, and you never expect someone as stern as Valerie. You suddenly realizes you're smiling back at her. Let's change the subject. You have my attention. Valerie bows politely. Tell me about the way of Shelyn and about her paladins. Shelyn is a goddess of love, beauty, and art. Her paladins are something like armored artists. That's how they think of themselves, at least. Valerie tries to contain her feelings, but her inner contempt bursts forth. They're fanatical defenders of worthless, inartistic paintings and meaningless opuses. If you care to know my opinion. You speak of Shelyn with such contempt. What did the goddess of beauty do to earn your anger? She's been trying to ruin my life, Valerie snorts. Shelyn, the goddess of everything useless that ever existed in my life. All beauty in the world, all art, all soulful sighs in the moonlight. They'll never feed a single family. I beg you to restrain yourself from offering your own opinion. Trust me, I've heard everything you could tell me more than once. Nothing and nobody can change my mind. Valerie looks at you with suspicion. As for Shelyn, she is the goddess of idlers. I almost joined her preposterous entourage, and I'm glad I was smart enough to denounce her while I still could. What do Paladins of Shelyn usually do? They wander around seeking the next pile of garbage, and when they find it, they call it an immortal piece of art, admire it until they are blue in the face. You might not believe this, but the Paladins of Shelyn are not allowed to slay their enemies if they beg for mercy. Can you guess why? Because bandit, rapist, or murderer who has been put to the sword will never be able to create something beautiful in the future. So a paladin overpowers her enemy in battle and then inspires him to create a masterpiece? Valerie faces reflects extreme disgust. Might sound hilarious if it weren't true. Plus, all of Shelyn's followers are obligated to practice some sort of art in his or her free time. Every single day, no matter what else is going on, even if you're sick or hungry or sleepy. Otherwise, according to her clerics, you lose your connection to your god, with your goddess. Preposterous notion, wouldn't you agree? I understand that not every piece of art is good or even decent, but surely there must be at least few great works amongst them. Is that what you think? Valerie curves her eyebrow, mocking in amazement. Many share that delusion. I was once deluded for a while. Deluded too for a while. Now consider all works of art useless. People create this garbage because they have nothing better to do. The peasant doesn't paint a picture, he plows. The earth to feed his family. The soldier has no time for sculptures, he must defend his homeland. But idlers and slackers have enough time to waste, so they smear canvases with paint and imagine something they've done worthy and valuable. Valerie shakes her head in disapproval. Said that every paladin must practice some kind of art. What art did you pursue? That I used to embroider. Still do from time to time. A treacherous blush covers Valerie's cheek. It's nothing, I assure you. It's a simple task to keep my hands busy and keep gloomy thoughts at bay. Nothing special. I see. Let's talk about something else. Couldn't agree more. If I can be frank, all this talk of Shelyn makes me want to spit. But my noble upbringing prevents me from performing such an undignified act. So you're an atheist. You don't worship any deity? Right. I need no guidance from above. I have my own good conscience and my leader's order to live by. You know, you don't have to follow etiquette and maintain good manners as speaking with me, if you don't want to. I'm aware of that, Valerie sighs. But I assure you understand that I am what I am. It's how I was brought up, first by my parents, then by my mentors of the order. Besides, I was born to a noble family. Valerie raises her chin proudly. So rather enjoy the idea that my manners of speech differs from the common language of the peasantry. You can imagine how many social climbers have bowed politely the moment I opened my mouth. Guess you have plenty of suitors. Valerie rolls her eyes. Sadly, you're right to suppose that, even here in these remote lands, one can find offspring of many noble houses, and all of them consider it a duty to kneel before me and begging me to walk with them in the garden. Valerie's voice overflows with contempt. If words were poison, you'd be dying a horrible death. Oh, and don't forget the village oafs. They understand the concept of nobility well, so they realize they'll be punished if they dare make an advance towards me, so they prefer to stare from a distance, drooling, and believe me, very well imagine what they discuss in the taverns. Valerie shivers, and her shoulders jerk as if trying to shed a stickly, disgusting stare. You know, you're really quite beautiful. You're a reliable friend and a worthy ally, but it would be a crime to ignore your beauty. Valerie gives you a stony look. I sincerely hope your words carry more than mere politeness. Well, yes, that's what I meant. That's good. Valerie nods. In that case, I thank you for the compliment, and would ask that you never bring up the subject again. If you choose the one at the top, it doesn't start the romance, but it just gives points towards it because this game, it's based on like points, I believe. And once you get a certain points, you can then start the romance and blah, blah, blah. So if you want to get more points towards a romance, you choose the first one. But I'm just, you know. You're eager to follow my orders. Why? What do you mean, why? Valerie looks at you in bewilderment. bewilderment. Follow your orders. I've joined your campaign because I have faith in you. I believe your intentions to be noble, though things may not always turn out as you planned. You are my commander. Your orders are law. It's my duty to follow them. Valerie hesitates for a moment. Well, so long as you don't order me to do something that's absolutely dishonorable. But that will never happen, I hope. Thank you for the conversation. I'll talk to you later. As you wish, Valerie nods with dignity. Alright. Now, let's talk to Oleg, because I believe he has new dialogue. Oh, I guess he doesn't. Oh, yeah. Well, I already talked to him. I forgot. I've forgotten. Balkan's one I wanted to talk to. Balkan frowns and as he substantially examines the nearest wall, hands in his sleeves without turning to you, the old man finally says in a dull voice, "You want some potions? Can I help you in any way?" Balkan glances at you, suddenly interested. "Well, since you're asking, there's a cave nearby. I used to pick berries there, but the place has been overrun by spiders. The berries are red and look like raspberries, fangberries I call them. I'd be really grateful if you gathered a basket of them and brought them back. Just be quick if you do, they spoil quickly. Those spiders in the cave are mean. Here, let me give you some alchemical fire. I crafted it myself. Burn those spiders to a crisp. I'll teach them for taking over my fangberry cave. I also need a bucket of moon radishes. They're a rare and mysterious plant. I don't know where to find them, but I know the kobolds gather them and value them highly. It's not a huge deal, really. I'd do it myself if I were younger, but if you're willing, I'll pay you. 3 potions for the berry, and a purse full of coins for the radishes." "Why do you need fangberries and moon radishes, Bodkin?" "You really want to know, eh? Well, I'll gladly tell you after you bring me some." "Alright, I'll try to help." Bodkin glances at you hopefully. "Just watch out, alright? Don't end up someone's lunch." "Remind me, what do you do here?" "What's there to tell? I'm a herbalist. I make potions and sell them. Gather herbs, roots, and berries." Bodkin sighs. "I live in the forest, live off the land. Since leaving Restov for these parts, I ended up a merchant here at Oleg and Svetlana's post. They let me in out of kindness. Help me with things. They bring me water or firewood when it's cold. Occasionally a barrel of honey. They're good people." I believe you already said this, but I decided to add a voice because why not? "About these tasks of yours." "Yes?" Let's talk about something else. "As you wish. Show me what you have." So he sells potions. Once I had like a bunch of money, I just came here and bought all 99 of these. One of snowball. I know I'll need this later, so I'm just gonna get it out of the way right now. One of snowball might be nice. Give that to like Lindsay. We'll see. Actually, you know, it's too late now. I forgot I was saving up for what's it called? I was saving up for something. Oh well. 11 charges, 50 charges. Alright. Quick save. Now let's head on over to somewhere.
In due time.
Let me just fill out this map because I love filling out maps. Actually, I should keep this on me. I don't want to... How heavy is it? 2 pounds, never mind. you could stay in there. Now you can take the heavy crossbow, though. I'm going to carry it around. A reliable comrade in battle, proud Valerie rejected her destiny as a Paladin of Shelyn, instead leaving her order behind to find her own way of life. Her loyalty to her cause is only matched by her... I assume it's going to say her beauty, but I could be wrong. Random encounter! There's someone on the road! Get ready! I like how Amiri's ready to kill. A jittery old man in a squalid clothing shuffles up to you. His gray, unkempt hair. His gray hair is unkempt, and he continually clenches and unclenches his wrinkled, freckled hands. When he stops, he looks at you, his eyes wide. He tugs at his beard. Remus. Strange weather. Invisible fog, creeping out of the woods, soars beyond the sky, obscures the sun and moon. Strange. The old man shakes his head and his eyes shifting about seemingly at random. I like the look at this man. Looks like the kind who could cast the evil eye. Who are you? Old man freezes him for a moment. Remus. But that won't help with the fog. What are you doing here? The old man quickly... Okay. I do nothing. Breathe, walk, observe. The fog looks visible enough to me. I see more than ever. I've never seen so much before. The old man wipes his hand across his face and slides wearily. But someone must look. Someone else must look, and no one else can? And no one else can. Invisible fog, does that mean you could find your way through it? A fog is wrong. It hinders your legs, not your sight. I wish not to try. I probably should go. The old man stares at you intently. You hasten? You should. Your rival wastes no time. He races, but in another direction. He searches for power. He'll find it. I just do what I have to. I don't care about rivals. Bold dog barks loud, while cunning one readies to bite. Cunning, short but stubborn. He's now in an ancient tomb that lies south of the trading post. Searching for great power that once gave joy, now only brings death. You don't want my nonsense? Then you'll hear the sobs and screams. Once stolen, the land shall be reclaimed. Once reclaimed, bound with a chamber shall it be. Bound, merged, joined by unbreakable ties, claiming the land, claiming its pain, claiming its death. Alright. If you're playing an evil character and you kill this guy, he just comes back later on, and you're like, didn't I kill you? And he's like, yeah. Yeah, you did. Okay, yeah. We're gonna go meet with Tarcusio. Because if we don't meet with Tarcusio, if we come here later, he won't be here. That makes sense. So you kind of want to come here. Not as soon as possible, but you want to come here before he leaves, because otherwise you'll come here and it'll be empty. And I don't remember what happens if you come here if he's and if it's empty.
As it should be.
Oops. Tarcusio, a gnome in gaudy purple garb, seizes your attention. Of course, the scoundrel Tarcusio, you known from your time in Restov. Oh, yeah. Sorry, the way I phrased that made it seem like I was repeating when I shouldn't be. The vile gnome is standing on a small hill, expressing his discontentment in every way he can muster.
Let me guess, you're still dawdling. Should I make some tea in the meantime? Bake a pie, perhaps? Plant a small garden and harvest some cherries? Perhaps you'd be more comfortable wearing fool's caps and collared trousers. Then at least I'd be able to sell tickets. Come one, come all! Feast your eyes upon the slowest and the most ridiculous buffoons in Golorian.
Why hurry? The same end awaits us all.
Hold your tongue, gnome. I can hardly tell your twaddle from the buzzing of a fly.
Quickly now, if we don't find that artifact soon, someone else might seize it. Someone who's standing over there watching you right now, you fools!
Don't you have some other pressing businesses to attend? Perhaps Jamani's quest, the search for the Stag Lord?
I might ask you the very same. Aren't you supposed to be searching the local forest for some bandit boss in a horned hat?
Get to the point, Tarcusio. I know you're looking for an artifact. I don't know if this will... I feel like having an extra skill monkey might be better than having another cleric. She is undead, so she doesn't get healed properly. I'll take Jathal just for the extra skill monkey. Oh, I didn't even read the thing what it said. I think I could scroll up to do it. Jathal, isn't Tartuccio's arrogance long past what you can suffer? I could find better use for a companion such as you. The elf looks at you for a brief moment, then nods silently. She draws her weapon and eyes Tartuccio coldly.
I see my magnificent rival will stop at nothing, even at stealing the servants of his enemy. Let us see if your fools are even more useless than mine. Draw your swords and cover my retreat.
Victory!